Can you see the completely unnatural error in this image? Well, whether you see it or not, these are the mistakes in GTA 6. Not even a video game created by the current Rockstar with a budget of $2 billion and 5 or 6 years of active development can escape small errors that once you notice them, you can't unsee them. Of course, let's clarify for the most extreme fans that this video is solely for informational purposes and in no way are we here to discredit the game. That's why in this video we'll look at all the errors Rockstar missed in the 2 trailers and the more than 70 images of the game. Right at the start of trailer 2, we can already spot the first mistake. It's in a reflection. Despite the realism that the reflections in GTA 6 appear to have, they are the source of a lot of glitches. In this case, the green lens sunglasses that Jason wears for much of the trailer can be seen without lenses in the reflection on the door when the character is about to enter the house. It's an almost imperceptible flaw that most people haven't noticed, but it exists and could become much more evident if it makes it to the final version of the game. With shadows, we can also observe similar issues. In the brief scene where Draquan Priest shows Jason something on his phone, we can notice that it casts no shadow at all on his hand. It's a barely noticeable detail that only seems odd once you know it's there. In trailer 1, we could already see similar problems with crouch shadows, especially those farthest from the camera. In the same way that in some distant shots, the shadows of certain elements are either unloaded or not shown due to the distance, the bridge pillars in some images are the best example. This glitch does seem more likely to appear in the final game, especially in its early versions on current gen consoles. Although of course there's always the chance that Rockstar pulls off some magic and manages to implement distant shadows that fix the issue. We can also see missing shadows on smaller objects like Lucia's necklace in this scene from trailer 1. However, this issue is more likely due to the early version in which trailer 1 was recorded, since in other scenes from the second trailer we can clearly see the shadow perfectly implemented on these elements. The spectacular lighting presented in the game is also not exempt from causing small issues. In this scene, the community noticed a slight desynchronization between the gunshots and the light it emits. In slow motion and almost frame by frame, people confirmed that the light appeared just before the shot, which is completely imperceptible at normal speed. On the other hand, this scene also caught people's attention because of the sound. Some people, being quite obsessive, claimed that the sound of this gun was the same as the semi-automatic pistol from Red Dead Redemption 2. A reuse that is probably just a placeholder due to not having yet recorded the final version sound effects. We continue with this theme, moving on to the third error in just this shot, and the most incredible part is thinking that this is probably the scene with the most bugs. That gives us a clue as to how amazing the game is gonna be when we realize this is the biggest technical mess we're shown in the entire trailer.
I just can't.
Jason's shirt model is very strange. The fabric looks very thick in some areas and thinner in others, something that does not happen in other scenes in the trailer, which could be another clue that once again we're looking at a scene recorded in an earlier build than the rest of the images from trailer 2, maybe somewhere in between trailer 1 and trailer 2. This also happens in the bank scene where the quality of the NPC's clothing is very poor, the modeling is basic, and the texture has that typical glitch where it stretches and warps when the character moves, something very common in GTA 5 but something we definitely didn't expect in GTA 6, not even for ambient NPCs, who had already shown clothing quality at the level of a playable character. Rockstar is likely aiming for the highest possible quality level for all NPCs, and this is proof that for them the game is still not ready. I'm sure the delay to 2026 will fix all these issues and ensure an unprecedented level of quality even in the most irrelevant characters. The biggest differences here were noticeable between trailer 1 and trailer 2. Many models in trailer 1, even the main characters, revealed their geometry very clearly. This is something that was fixed in trailer 2, though it could be considered a flaw in trailer 1, as were many others, especially in animations. One of the most obvious and yet hidden happens in the Ocean Drive scene, when this NPC closes the car door without touching it. The beach scene loads too many entities and environments at once, which makes it very difficult for everything to work perfectly, especially considering that we are looking at a development version from 2023 when trailer 1 was recorded. The more distant NPCs can be seen without animation, simply standing on the water. If we pay even more attention, some of the environments repeat and we find characters with very similar poses right next to each other. We know that Rockstar is aiming for perfection and many of these small details are probably already fixed. However, one of the aspects related to animations that they will probably struggle to fix is this one here. We're in trailer 2 and we can see that Jason's truck steering wheel moves independently prominently from his hand. The delay between the character's animation and the steering wheel movement is very noticeable, but this also happens in GTA 5, which is the only GTA with detailed interiors, and it has a simple explanation. To make driving in the game comfortable, it's absolutely necessary that when you move the joystick, the wheels change direction almost instantly. In a real car or simulator, you'd have to wait for the steering to naturally reach that position, but that makes driving more complex because the car wouldn't turn as fast as you want. It would gradually increase the turn, and that could cause problems at high speeds. To avoid this, the car's wheels are made to turn at an unrealistic speed, which also causes the steering wheel to move faster to match that movement. But this illusion in the vehicle's turning has to break somewhere, and that point is the character. When Rockstar added detailed interiors to vehicles in GTA 5, they knew something would end up looking wrong. If the wheels turn fast and the steering wheel too, it would be very weird for the character to move his arms extremely fast as well. His animation would look exaggerated. The character's movement needed to be slow to seem realistic, but if the steering wheel followed the character's rhythm, it would be out of sync with the direction, and we'd see the wheels already turned while the steering wheel is still turning. They knew this couldn't be perfect, and they decided that the best place for this illusion to break was between the steering wheel and the character's animation. The same thing happens in GTA 6, and now we're in trailer 2. The movements are very subtle, but you can tell that the car is being driven by the player in this moment, which is a great clue that what we're seeing is gameplay, and that the neighbors wave, Jason smile, and that sigh are happening while the player is driving naturally in gameplay mode. But going back to the unsynchronized steering wheel animation, it's very likely that this won't be fixed in this game either. In the gym scene on the beach, Jason has no facial animation at all, showing a neutral expression even though he's lifting 230 pounds on the bench press. Okay, the guy's strong, but I think he should at least furrow his brow or clench his teeth in that situation. In the scene where they rob the safe, the truck has 2 wheels on each side of the rear axle, that is 4 wheels in the back. However, after skidding out, it only leaves a single tire mark on the asphalt. In the news accident scene, we can see the broken barrel model repeated exactly the same in several spots. Though we still don't know the context of this scene, and since it's from trailer 1, it's possible that by now it has already been corrected. One of the most famous bugs from trailer 1, and the one that helped prove to the skeptics that we were indeed seeing the real game and not a render, was the visible LOD change in this scene. On the road, you can see the line where the low quality model cuts in, something that confirmed GTA 6 is a video game and its first trailer was real. However, the most famous glitch from trailer 2 surfaced quite recently, and it's a real bug, a floating street lamp that can be seen in the background of this scene. This clearly shows that there are still many small details to fix, like street lights, trees, and floating plants that truly need this extra year of delay to meet the level of perfection Rockstar wants for GTA 6. The grenade launcher scene also sparked a bit of controversy among bug hunters. Some people believe the explosion effects aren't very realistic on the vehicles, since they don't even lose their rear wheels after being hit in that area. This doubt will likely remain until trailer 3, though it does seem there's still some work left to be done in the explosion effects. On the other hand, the community also criticized the fact that the police cars didn't have any officers inside at the moment of the explosion. While it's true that it appears no one is in the front seats, it's very hard to see, especially the driver's seat due to the darkness and all the fire. Some people say they see the driver through the flames, and others say they see absolutely nothing. So which team are you on? Let's move on to the glitch I mentioned at the beginning of the video. In this seemingly perfect image, there's a huge, completely unnatural error. We know the reflections in this game are on another level. We've seen some bugs where something isn't shown or is reflected differently than it should be. But the bug in this image takes the reflection issue to another level, showing us a reflection of the landscape in front of Jason but flipped. That is, as if the sunglasses remained in their default horizontal position, reflecting the surroundings left to right, without taking into account that they're hanging vertically, causing a major reflection glitch that no one at Rockstar noticed before this image was released. It's clear that what we see in the trailers and images is only a phase of the game's development, and even so, it's already above many final games and of course has fewer bugs than many full releases from other studios. Many of these bugs are minor details, but we know that Rockstar strives for perfection and would have likely corrected many of these shots if they had noticed what was actually happening in the background. In any case, the massive leap in quality and the great reduction in these glitches that we see between trailer 1 and trailer 2 is incredible. You can tell that every second of development benefits GTA 6, and I'm sure that in this final year they'll deliver a product that comes closer than ever before to that long-awaited perfection. Do you know of any other bugs that didn't appear in the video? Let me know in the comments. You already know I never ask for likes or for you to subscribe, because I know only true alphas, tough guys like Jason lifting those 230 pounds, are capable of leaving a like on these videos while scrolling down to comment on their favorite glitches from the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailers.